Just minutes.
It was one of the greatest moments in sports. Tiger Woods, who hit rock bottom, was back on top. And during his win at Augusta, you probably saw old video of Tiger and his dad Earl hugging. And that's why this story is so bizarre.
Here it is.
One word.
The return to glory.
Tiger. A solitary cat. A fierce, determined man who no one in the world can compare to. His 5th green jacket, 15th major, gave people around the world goosebumps.
That's what it looked like 22 years ago.
The old footage of a proud dad embracing his son. And the powerful shot of a victorious Tiger and his son Charlie more than 2 decades later. Tiger is back.
People are seeing the most talented golfer in the history of golf.
Eldrick Taunt Woods didn't become Tiger without his dad. When Tiger was 6 months old, Earl hit golf balls in the garage while his son looked on from a high chair.
How's that, Tiger?
When Tiger could swing a club, Earl began parading him around TV.
This is Eldrick Tiger Woods, and Eldrick is an accomplished golfer.
And soon, the golf genius couldn't be stopped.
In the 15 years that I was on the Tiger beat, they were the most exciting years of my golf writing life.
John Garrity was a golf writer for Sports Illustrated for 28 years. He started covering Tiger when he was just 16. And Garrity still remembers meeting Earl.
He whips out his wallet, pulls out a photograph, a snapshot of Tiger in diapers, practicing his golf, except it wasn't a golf club and a golf ball. It was a vacuum cleaner attachment and a tennis ball. And Earl's face would just light up talking about Tiger.
Earl and Tiger were inseparable. They wrote books together, and Earl was always a part of his son's celebration on Sunday.
Earl's approval meant so much to him is that it was probably the primary motivator for him through all those early years before money and fame.
How much does it mean to you as a dad?
Tiger just said this at Augusta about the famous bear hug.
I'm at a loss for words. There's my dad. He shouldn't have been there that year. He was recovering from a heart attack and heart surgery.
Earl died in 2006. And that's why we're here at Sunset Cemetery in Manhattan, Kansas.
To find Earl and the rest of the Woods family, you need a cemetery map. Lot 5, Block 12.
Underneath an overgrown tree, in between the hidden headstone for Maud and an unremarkable one for Miles, Earl Woods, the father of one of the most successful athletes of all time, is buried in an unmarked grave.
I don't know who put those out here. Those are fresh.
Cemetery sexton Michael Moeller knows exactly where the remains of Earl are.
He's right here.
Because he dug the hole. Moeller got a phone call 3 days before the burial.
I never spoke with Tiger.
So it was Coltita.
It was his people that set everything up.
Only 4 guys with the city of Manhattan knew that Tiger would be in town to bury his dad.
Once word gets out, you know how it leaks. It goes a long ways.
Terry DeWeese was the director of the Parks and Rec department at the time.
They came in, we pretty much blocked off the cemetery to keep people out, and they went and had their service, and as soon as the service was over, they left.
Tiger, his mom, now ex-wife Elin, and his 3 half-siblings were on the private plane that landed here at the Manhattan airport. They were only in town for a little more than an hour.
They requested it to be kept quiet. And until the burial was made, it was a public record.
In a remarkable twist of fate, Earl is buried across from this, the only sign of golf greatness in the old city cemetery.
I'm surprised that Tiger didn't build a mausoleum for his dad somewhere in Southern California. I don't get it. I don't get it, because they couldn't have been closer for most of Earl's life.
The lack of headstone is unbelievable, but a burial in Manhattan does make sense. Earl was born and raised here. He was a talented athlete, and he went to Manhattan High School, where he's honored on the Wall of Fame. He played baseball for K-State and was the first African-American baseball player in the former Big Seven Conference. Earl was so good, he was offered a contract to play for the Kansas City Monarchs. But he joined the Army instead and became a Green Beret.
The last time we saw Earl in town was here at Colbert Hills when he helped launch the first tea program. Here's what he said about Tiger back then.
Tiger reminds me of an African prince walking among his subjects when he stalks down the fairway. He's proud, he's aloof, but yet there's this genteel aspect of him, and people identify with that.
Earl had 3 kids with his first wife. Coltita, Tiger's mom, was his second wife.
Tita Woods was the disciplinarian. She was the one who would tell Tiger not so fast.
And Coltita may be the reason why Earl's final resting place looks like this.
Earl had a reputation as a womanizer, and it's also clear that she was aware of it.
It's been written that Coltita was in charge of Earl's burial. I called and emailed Tiger's agent and PR team to get a comment about the unmarked grave, but got no response. And that doesn't surprise Garrity.
Anything that Tiger finds sensitive, they're trying to block.
And clearly, a story about his father's burial is pretty sensitive.
It really is.
Despite this powerful image, one that many won't forget, Earl continues to be forgotten in this field full of dandelions. And whatever the reason, that's exactly how the family wants it. Ellen McNamara, KCTV5 News.